Hello everyone, this is Darwell20 and welcome to episode 28 of Darwell20's OceanBlock2 Let's Play series. Today I want to start expanding the AE system. So I spent a little time between episodes doing some crafting. I also set up an ender drawer to get my wool over here because I know I'm going to need lots of wool. So I'd like to get to the point where I can automate a lot of the basic components of applied energistics, and for that we're going to need to rearrange some stuff. So here's my thoughts. I'm going to break down a lot of this. That energy cell is very nice and adorable, but let's just remove everything for a minute, and then we'll get it all back up and running at some point soon. Probably super soon. So what am I going to want to do? Am I going to want this underneath my platform? That does sound like a cool idea. That does sound like a cool idea. Right? So what we could have is something like, you know, a nice little way to get in and out of here. And then I'm thinking I want this under, I always like it underneath. I could do a up in the air kind of thing. I just feel like that would be ugly, right? Yeah. I like hiding my cables for the most part. So if we went down here and we did something like this, and we just stuck our nice ME controller there, that would be cool. And then I can take you. And what I'm thinking is we run our energy underneath. We're probably going to want all of this eventually running this way. So what I should do... And you'll notice that I ran some cabling here. What I realized is this guy is just constantly running and producing energy. And this guy's slowly trickling energy out. So I ran this cable so that my infinite lava and steam can slowly fill this thing up and keep him going. So that the stuff that's using a little bit of power can do that. I'd like to make it a little bit better such that, and I'm probably going to rearrange this shortly, but I'd like it so that this guy only kicks on when the energy gets low. I don't know if he responds to a redstone signal or not, but I could probably figure something out. At the very least, I'd like this thing to be filled up first and foremost by the steam engine. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, let's run this cabling and get our AE system to the point where it's both powered and automated. Because then I can start autocrafting, and you know that's the part where Dyer really has fun, is when he gets to autocraft stuff. So actually I'm gonna change this up. I have a new idea. What I'm gonna do... Do you think we need these guys here, or we're not sure? Don't know. Probably not? Okay, cool. That works. So what I'm going to want to do is have you be all smart cable-y. Yeah, buddy. That works. Cool. And then you and you get removed. You and you get replaced, and then let that run off in that direction, and that's going to be 2 channels, right? We'll find out once we get power going. I would like some dense cable, but we'll get there when we get there kind of deal. For now, I should be able to run this like so. And that would be cool. So I know we're going to eventually want to automate some of these machines. So we're going to have power and network cabling come over this way anyway. So how about I just run this dude so that he's ready to do all the things we need him to do for autocrafting. And then we can just drop in an energy cell somewhere along this line. It doesn't really matter. That brings everything online, but he's draining power. Right? But then we can have an energy acceptor, which I was 85% sure I had done something with. Didn't I make an energy acceptor? Oh, I did make an energy acceptor, and I remember why. I needed iron plates to make an energy acceptor. I don't know why I needed energy, but like I needed... So that's a growth accelerator. We want an energy acceptor. Needs iron plates. I did get partway towards making it, to be fair. Right? And then we could just, like, stick you maybe here. Did I run out of... There's no way I ran out of... Did I run out? Nope. I put him in there. I was gonna say, I didn't think I was out. Cool. And then that should fill you up all the way. And that should be cool. Right, now we'll need more energy buffer at some point, but like, man, it's fine. We'll get there when we get there. Now with that good, I do think it would be cool to have our big multi-block crafters kind of in this general area here, above ground. So what I'll do is, yeah, it takes a while to get there, right? So it's going to be a hot minute before I can have the multi-block crafters. So what I did is I prepped just a few basics to get the ball rolling, right? And we can probably get some dense cabling going on here. You know what I'll do is I will do that. And we can have some dense cabling going, maybe. You know, I'm not going to do dense cabling. Here's what I'm going to do. And I like the idea of this being on a world. Like, what I could do is build, like, a basement. But, like, I always build basements. So how about, like, we keep everything underwater, and then we have to, like, go swimming to do this kind of thing, to do our wiring. I don't know. It just seems fun to me. Don't ask me why it seems fun. I've played a million years of Minecraft. Doing different things just keeps things fresh for me. If it seems silly to you, don't judge. Cool. All right, so then you come up here, Mr. Cabling, and that'll eventually be dense cable, right? And then, like, over here can be, like, our pattern providers, which we'll build in, like, a little dude like that, right? And that should be, that should be a lot of channels, actually. Shouldn't you be sharing channels through there? 6 of 16. 6 of how many? Six of how many? That must be like a different config thing, right? Like, are the configs in this pack such that you double your channels? That's kind of cool. I won't complain about that. I'd be 100% cool with that. I have zero objections to that. That is pretty spiffy in my opinion. Okay. And then you can do that and that, and that's cool. And now we're only using 8 out of 16 channels. That's cool. I'm good with that. Right? So now we can, like, make a pattern terminal. Which should be fun. ME pattern encoding terminal is what we're going to want. So we're going to want another crafting terminal, which gets you, which gets pattern encoding terminal going. Sweet. Okay. And then we can make patterns. Okay. And that works for me. Cool. And then we're probably going to want more pattern providers now. Should not be a problem. And then we can start doing smarter things over here with this kind of stuff. So what I'd like to see, what I should do is rearrange all this extremely awful dire wire. That's what I should do to get most of this underground. Right, so what we could do is just like whack most of this right? And that all seems fine. Yeah. And then we can do like this, and all the power can come in from underneath. And then we'll put our pattern terminals behind stuff. Is that cool? Because that way it'll be a little bit easier for me to access the pattern terminals from, up above the ground kind of deal. Cool. An enriching factory can be there. That all should be cool. You guys are going to want power, I'm sure. That all should be good. Yeah, you guys can all get power that way. You're going to want power, I have no doubt. And then you're also going to want power. Okay. So, and then if I wanted to be really cool about it, I could rearrange this dude. That would probably be smart. Let's try that. So I'm going to take you. Just make it a little less dire wiry. So if I did steam engine like that, are you going to be cool about stuffs? And do you respond to redstone signals, mister? It's an exceptional question that I would like an answer to. I'm gonna say nope. So you're building up power for sure. I'm betting you need to be like that, and now you should be draining power, maybe? See, if I break you, you're gonna stop running. And then you should be happily filling up. Cool. So yeah, basically I need to get to a point where like this guy doesn't run unless he needs to, would be cool. How I'm going to do that I haven't figured out yet, but at some point I will figure it out. We'll just, if we're wasting a little bit of turbo fuel right now, I'm probably okay with that. Okay, so then we're going to want you. And all of this stuff happening. That should be fine for now. And then you need to be here, and you need to be here. And you. And you. Okay? And then all of that can come right over like that. And now everybody's going to get powered, courtesy of this big guy. Cool? And he'll keep him going. And not like that. Right? A little bit cleaner. A little bit cleaner. I like. Yeah? Not the worst. And if I need to rearrange things, I will. Like, right now, it's very dire wire, right? It's still very much a mess. But, like, we'll get there when we get there. I think that's fine. How's this thing running, by the way? I haven't checked on him in a bit. I'm just hoping that he's not, like, blowing up. Yeah, no, he seems fine. Somehow, some way, he's just not doing a bad job, and you're just making oil, and everybody's happy. So, yeah, I'm cool letting that just chill. All right, now that that's up and running, what I'll probably want to do, I probably want to move this pulverizer. What I should do is rearrange this Oritech mess. That's really what I should do. So yeah, maybe I rearrange the Oritech mess, right? We can take the pulverizer, and he can chill here. And I don't even know if I need the foundry anymore, to be completely honest with you. But I'll still set it up. Just because it won't hurt to set it up. So I almost want to, like, move you over one. Maybe what I'll do is I will put the foundry here. And then we'll put the pulverizer here. And that's cool. I think that's cool. Yes? A little less dire wire, as it were. Works for me. Okay. And then the atomic reconstructor could probably also be moved. But not yet. I will move it eventually. I just wanted to, like, free up a little bit of stuff. I could probably move you. Yeah, that would probably be cool. And free up a lot of space. You actually need power, buddy. See, I told you it's getting the house in order time. Cool. And then the Oritech centrifuge. What I should really be doing is, like, moving this stuff elsewhere. Yeah, see, he has no problem getting me up to 10 bars of pressure. I guess those guys are just using so much of it. So whatever. But what I should really be doing is, like, I should really move this stuff all together. Maybe put it over there. I don't even know if I care about this anymore, because, like, I don't need the pressure suit anymore. Well, I do need the pressure suit. I do still need the pressure suit. So, yes, I will leave this as is. What I will do in the interim is you. And then you can be all powered like that, right? And even though, like, there's not a gap there for the add-ons, like, whatever. I may not get deep in add-ons. I may decide to get deep in add-ons. We'll find out. Either way, this should suffice, right? And then we can put pattern providers behind things like this and be ready to autocraft, right? And that should be cool. And that even leaves us a little bit of extra room for stuff. Okay, so fluid tank go away. Oh yeah, the machine fluid add-on I do need if you're going to be an on-demand crafter of things. Can I rotate you? Like, can you face this way? Like, you have to be able to, right? Yes. Cool. And then we can put our fluid add-on like that, and that's fine. Cool. Not worried about speed add-ons. Not worried about obsidian dust right now. Not worried about meat nuggets. I do have uranium dust. So, by the way, remember I said I can use uranium to get skulk? To get uranium, you need to centrifuge redstone into small uranium dust, which then can turn into uranium dust, which then you can smelt into uranium ingots. And then if you so choose, you can use those uranium ingots to get uranium seeds. That's probably your best bet for automating them from the very little bit of research that I've done thus far. Cool. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. All right, so that's fine. And then you guys, at some point, we're going to want all of you guys automated, right? Probably make one more pattern provider. Okay. And you don't really have an inventory, so we should be fine. And then your sidedness can be such that on your back, you will input, output, but eject. Right? And then... Right? And now these guys should be chilling in there. And if we did the mechanism thingy that lets us... Configuration card? Retrieved unequal data formats. Okay. So side config, you will input output there. Bottom can be energy, so that's fine. For chemicals, we'll figure it out. I don't know. We'll do something, I'm sure. Maybe on the top. But for now... Cool. And now any crafting should... Oh, wait. I want to make sure that you're ejecting. Any crafting should push into the output on the back. Cool. Okay, that works, right? So then underground, you know, all we really need to do then to get things cooking properly would be to... Right? Something like that. So let's get automation happening proper. So for cables, I want you to know how to make cables. So you're going to need to first know how to make quartz cables. I'd like you to use like quartz, because I'm going to tell you how to make quartz dust with a sag mill. So that'll be cool. And you're just going to... I'm just going to tell it 1 per craft, just to be safe, because I know the other one has like a chance, right? And then from here, you're going to do this. And then from here, you're going to get this. And then from here, you're going to get this. Cool. So these guys all go in there. And then sag mill gets this pattern. And if I could get just a few more cables cooking, we should be ready to... Nice. A little slow, but like that's because we don't have speed upgrades in these dudes, and we don't have co-processors in these. So it's only able to craft 1 set of ingredients at a time, which I'm okay. I get it. It's fine. Cool. Not too shabby. Now, what I might wind up doing, just because I know I'm going to need a lot of channels over there, I might do this. Give me a few more. Getting in and out of the basement is going to be my challenge, isn't it? A little bit. Let's just upgrade what we've got, right? You to you manually. And that should be cool, right? And then if I really want to be cool about it, I would connect up over here to do these guys and probably my drawer controllers once I have a few more cables. But at this point, it should be very easy to do that. Now, the other thing I want to do probably is the reaction chamber. Is that right? Is that where I combine and make fluix dust a little bit easier? Or fluix crystals, I mean? Yes. Reaction chamber would be cool. Or crystal assembler? Is that also where I can get you? What machine? I can make you in reaction chamber that way. Or I can make you... in crystal assembler that way. Gonna have to feed you water regardless of what machine I use, but like, yeah. I'll probably go crystal assembler. Is this one hard to get? Does this require the intro crystal things? Yeah, it does. Reaction chamber, I think I can just get as is, like nothing special here. Let me get it this way, just because it'll be a little bit easier than doing the whole dropper setup. Oh, you need more of those dudes. Let's get iron times 4. This is what I did between episodes to get ready for that thing. Thank you. Perfect. Right? And then auto export will be auto exported through any extraction side. Oh, that's cool. Is that new? I like that. So push out the back kind of deal. Let's get pattern providers on autocraft. So I'm going to need you to know to make this and this and this. I want you to be oak though. Okay, and then I want you to know how to make, oops, that. And I should really get my pattern thingy, but that's okay, we'll get there in a minute. Are we cool? We're cool. Nice. And then how about a bunch of cables, please? Would you be so kind? Yes, you can. Nice. And then you should be sag milling, and then your side config should be push-pull in and out on the back. Right? And then that satisfied the craft, so now we're cool. Yeah, we are. That's awesome. How cool is that? It is on the slow side, I will grant you that. But we're just getting the foundations in place so that we can eventually get to, like, remember these guys? Yeah, like, I want one of those, right? We'll get there, though, because, like, there's infrastructure that has to go in towards making all that. So then down here, you guys shouldn't need this no more, because you're going to get powered through your pattern providers, right? And that should be fine. Like, so I don't think you can auto push, but you guys should be able to auto export through any extraction side. Yeah, I have to remember exactly how to do this because I always forget these. These are confusing. Exactly how they work, I forget. I think I stack them vertically or something to prevent, because there's like sidedness that matters, and I always forget the sidedness off the top of my head. But if you stack them vertically, I think that's the trick, right? Top and bottom slots can be extracted from. Yeah. So if we align it the correct way, it should be fine. We'll see what happens when we hook it all up. I like this though. This is the way I wish it worked. And before somebody tells me, Dyer, your mod doesn't let you auto push. You're right. It doesn't. And I make no apologies for that. I considered it because I do. It's funny because like I personally do very much like when a mod lets me auto push from one, you know, like a lot of them do these days. But then at the same time, it also is kind of like, oh, suddenly not great because the problem then becomes you don't need a lot of like cables and pipes anymore. Like, yes, it saves on dire wire, but also like now I don't need them anymore, and that's a little bit of a bummer. So now I should be able to do fluix crystals, right? And that's cool. And what we're going to want to do is teach you Certus as well for charged. So charged Certus. You can also go into a reaction chamber for, you know, not for nothing. Isn't that what I just made? Yeah. I guess that is a little bit easier. And I could feed the water in? Kind of like that. If I just make you have access to water as a storage bus, I don't see that being a problem. Hard to argue with. And then we don't need you no mores. In fairness, we don't need none of that. Cool. Now you, my friend, at some point are going to need a growth accelerator and automation to like make more of that. But that's another on the list of we'll get there maybe next episode because I think we're getting a little close here to be able to start doing anything like that. We're a little low on Certus quartzes, but we do have growth accelerators, right? So that shouldn't be hard to make happen. I can just move that to somewhere and like set up automation for it. And the same for access to water, right? So we should be cool with a lot of these guys. I'll have to set these up. I'll probably do this bit off camera, just because you've seen me do this a million times. I shouldn't need the charger anymore, but I'm going to keep it there until such time as I like definitely have enough Certus quartz. Because right now I don't have enough Certus quartz to use the charged Certus recipe that this guy provides, right? So, like, yeah, we'll get there when we get there kind of deal. Well, that's cool. If this guy breaks the Certus quartz cluster, he makes... Oh, that's nifty. Wonder if he follows the same rule of, like, the budding this dude where he won't break the block. Because that would be neat. Just saying. What's up, Derek Laser? You just looking around at me? Cool. And I think now's a good wrapping up point for the episode. So for now, Del20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed it. A bunch of, like, getting my house in order stuff today, which I know is, you know, not progression, but I think it'll make our future progression a lot easier and better. And you know me. I like getting things automated, so I'm happy that I did. All right, for now, Del20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.